Music, dance, Dhrupad, and the resonance. In the Indian context, they are not different. Because when we say music or Sangeeta, it incorporates Geetam, Vadyam, Nityam, implying the singing, the playing, and dancing. In dancing also there are two aspects. Dancing for the sake of dancing, that is Nritta in Sanskrit, and dancing for the sake of expressing the emotions with Abhinaya, that is Nityam. So it is actually the whole concept is very clearly and clearly explained in totality. So when we sing, we follow some principles of the instruments, which is complementing the vocal music. Also, when we sing, we try to see the sound. And this is very important because, and this has been stated in the Natya Shastra, when Bharata says, Gatra Vikshepa, when I am singing, it is my total body language. And he uses the term Gatra Vikshepa, meaning projecting your limbs. So a performer is not that when he's doing an abhinay, when he's doing a theater or when he's dancing, he's projecting his limbs. It is projecting this resonance. Because finally, we are not just seeing the dance, we are not seeing the theater, we are also feeling it. We are also resonating it. And when we resonate with the theater, when we resonate with the dance, it is singing, it is playing. So when Bharata talks of Natya Shastra, it is a total corpus of performing arts. And so Bharata always talks about Gana. When he says Gana, it's not only singing, it's also all the melodic situations, everything that's to do with melody. So it incorporates singing and playing when he says Gana. When he says Vadya, it is only the percussion. So Gana includes all the instruments, the Veenas also are melodic. And when it says Vadya, it is the Ghana Vadya, when you strike two pieces of stone or wood or cymbals, that is Ghana, idiophonic. And then you have the membranophonic with all the membranes, all the drums come into Vadya. And then he doesn't talk of Nitya, not dance. He speaks of the performing arts, the Natya. Natya in totality is not just theater, it's all performing arts. So Natya includes singing, Natya includes playing, Natya includes dancing, and Natya includes Abhinaya. So that is the embodiment of Natya. So interestingly, we never separate dance from instrument playing from vocal music. It's all one. And so when we start to sing, it is several layers of expressing the music. When you say music, it's the Sangeeta. In the Natya Shastra, they say Gandharva or Gana. Gana is also a generic term for all the musical situations. Gana is, when he says Gana, it is exclusively for the people, for not entertainment, but for the people. It is secular. But when he says Gandharva, it is searching what is beyond the secular, the sacred and the profound. So Dhrupad basically is this search of the unseen, the Adrishta. And it is for me it was a very long journey to actually feel and resonate what my mentors, my gurus have been giving us. And I learned not by verbalizing, not by having only dialogue with my guru. I understood many things. I felt many musical components in silence. So when we are performing, it's the Desh and the Kala. Desh is the space. Desh is not just the region. It's also the feeling of space. The sound is coming from above, from below, from the sides. The entire, cosmic resonance is also Desh. Desh is not. Desh could also mean this is Italian, this is Indian, this is Swedish, this is Japanese. So both the implications are there. So my guru used to say, when you're singing, just don't hear the sound, see the sound. And when you're witnessing a good dance or a good natya, good theater, try to hear the space. I think that makes it very complete. So we have to hear the space and we have to see the sound. And this is very clearly stated in our philosophy of speech, vak. Vak starts with vaikhari, which is just the audible sound that we all are hearing. This is Japanese music, this is Dhrupad, this is Khayal, this is folk music. Then there is a level of madhyama. You see it and you don't see it. You hear it, you don't hear it. Just play the mantra. This can only be understood or felt when you hear the music. You can't talk about it. So you see how the voice starts with the very concrete situation and gradually goes into the fine, into the subtle. So in our Daga tradition, we talk about the manifest sound, which is called pragata, and the hidden sounds, the gupta. And hidden sounds can have several levels: the sukshma, the ati sukshma, and vishranti. Subtle, very subtle, and silence. And I think they are all very powerful when you are presenting a performance. It's not just a presentation, it is trying to have a dialogue with the unseen, the unpredictable. So we are always searching for something that cannot be predicted. It's there. And in that case, when I start to sing, my guru used to say, don't just sing, describe the situation. Describe the raga. Try to have a dialogue with the raga. Raga is an entity. Raga is not just a phrase, not just a scale. Some people mistake it just as a scale. But raga has an entity, it has a personality. We have to have a dialogue with it. And the more sensitive you are, the more you can have a deeper relation with the raga. It is a relationship, a lifelong relationship. And this relationship can be in many forms. It could be a good friend, it could be a lover, it could be God, it could be deity. Whatever, it could be nature, it could be fire, it could be water. So the entire cosmic and the ontological, and also the values behind it, the stories behind it. So in the Indian tradition, a myth or story is not a story, it is a value system. It has a deeper meaning behind. And that hermeneutics needs to be understood. What is the meaning behind? And whether it is in music or in poetics or in drama, we search this hermeneutics. We call it the vyanjana, the suggestive meaning behind. So a singer also has to describe what he is singing. It may be just few sounds, but it is a story of life that we are all resonating, and beyond any culture. Why Dhrupad is so universal? Because we are searching always the sound that is beyond the existential. We go into the essential, the profound, and this makes it so special because it is just the universal joy, the beauty, the bliss that you can feel every moment in the resonance of Dhrupad. So coming to again how we can go beyond the superficial resonance. Now this is not just a note. In the Sanskrit tradition, it's called the Madhyama. It's there in between. We can just smell it. We can feel it. It's not perceptible. The perceptible sound is So here I'm not singing notes. I'm singing what is beyond the note, the nada. So it is this seeking and searching the nada all the time. And this nada is not that we are seeking only in singing or playing. Also a dancer has to feel it, hear it, even in the movement of the body, in silence. So finally it is all one. Whether we are acting, whether we are dancing, whether we are playing, whether we are singing. This searching the Madhyama is the first search into going into the subtle. Then we can have very subtle. And there is a point where you actually see the raga. It's called Pashyanti. Pashyanti literally means you start to see your sound. It gets manifested as a being, as an entity. And it's so beautiful when it comes maybe like a light in front of you, and then you start to resonate with that. That's something which cannot be described in words. And finally merging into the Paravak, the absolute nada, the absolute sound. This has also been expressed by the seers in so many ways in the Indian tradition. So it is a lifelong journey into this search. We shouldn't be stuck with the superficial, situations. So I was just trying to resonate with that history, that culture, the 2,000-year-old culture. I was trying to bring into me that resonation for that moment, maybe a few seconds. And there was no audience in front of me. When I closed the eyes, there was no Ricardo. It was only that profound light and that profound entity that keeps us together, the unseen. And my music. It's also not me. It's my music, my tradition, that allows me to grow with. So I was just enjoying that moment and taking you all to something beyond that moment, to something that is that can be cherished all your life. I feel it that way. I sang the song of Shiva. Shiva is Mahakal. He and his consort Durga is Mahakali. You see, they are unified. They are, they're complementing. So, into the journey of any performing arts, we move from the time to the timelessness. We have to move into the timeless zone, and it is a kind of virtual time, not the physical time, taking you to the virtual time. But music is not just virtual time. In the Indian tradition, it even goes beyond into the timelessness. And also, we are not seeking anything with a purpose. So when Nataraja, Shiva, is dancing the cosmic dance, there is no purpose, it's purposeless. So the purpose is to be purposeless. I think that is the answer. When I sing, my purpose is no purpose, but to seek the purpose, the purposelessness, and go into the timelessness. And that can give you absolute joy, not all the superficialities. And we are craving for all the glamour, the superficialities, treating music as a product. Or even, we were talking about yoga. Yoga is this realization. into going into the perfect. So Krishna says yoga karmasu kaushalam. What is yoga? Yoga is this act of doing anything with perfection. So yoga is a very generic term for self-realization. You can do it through any part of your life. It is a yoga. So we don't have to talk about yoga as a product. What in the West is becoming a product, and we want to glamorize yoga. It is not for that. From the Indian scenario, what was happening yesterday was not really yoga. Yoga is a sadhana. It is a sadhana way for all of us. It's a lifelong sadhana. We don't have to show that we are doing yoga. Just do it and you get it. We are only serving with information and information and information, and we think information is knowledge. So the real dialogue comes only when you sit with and have a meaningful, interaction to resonate with a purpose, with something fruitful, and there the actual dialogue starts. And if you see in the Indian tradition, they had dialogue with just one concept for years. When Shankaracharya talks in the Vedanta, he had discourses, years of discourses, and I think that is the real dialogue, and not this kind of globalization where we are just, there is interaction, but it is without a heart. I feel it's without that resonation. We are serving a lot of information, we are giving things, as a product, but the process of growing is not happening. And I think this is only happening when there is a meaningful dialogue between people, between musicians, in a more closer interaction. In spite of the multifarious differences, if we start to look where we are alike, where we share, so the shared characteristics will bring us together. Differences is life. Life needs variety, needs different color, as you said initially. But our purpose is not to just search multidimensional colors, but our purpose is also to see where we are one. And it is here that we can go into a position where we are not. There is no duality. And it is because of this duality we are having the confusion. We just are happy with our differences, and we might share for a while historically, but there is very little dialogue of sharing. Like suppose in European music, if I would have want to search where is the element of Drupad, I would have to go into Bach, and search this profundity. That profound sound which Bach had looked for, and we are also looking for in Drupad. So this is a way it can be with any music of any culture, of any tradition, but let us go into these living traditions. Unfortunately, traditions are also becoming archaic. We just want to document and keep it alive in a different way as a product, but there is no system where would actually take it as a parampara. And why Drupad is so beautiful? Because it's a parampara, it's a living tradition. And Indian music still is, whether it's dance or theatre, going into this parampara. And unfortunately, because of the onslaught of present day globalization, as you said, we are losing a track with too many informations. We are getting confused, and not that all the informations that are dished out are genuine. So we should also have a value system to actually show which is real, which is not real. So the Indian hermeneutics also give you this value system to be able to throw away what is superficial and to get the nectar of life, the juice of life. And this is rasa, this is what we seek for, to be able to distinguish first which is good, which is bad, which is not necessary, and to go into the real.